Borderlands 4 has been having a really great stretch during its marketing campaign leading up to launch. After the combat radar got announced to be in the game, I've seen some saying, "What's left to complain about?" Well, I immediately thought, oh, there's still concerns. And while Borderlands 4 looks fantastic, and I'm as excited as I'll ever be for the game, I still have some concerns, and so that's what we discuss here today. 5 concerns I have for Borderlands 4. Let's start with my biggest concern, and that is optimization. I've heard some content creators express their own concern with optimization after having hands-on experience with the game. I've heard some say frame gen was on, and again, I really do not want this game to be optimized, expecting you to use DLSS and frame gen. The load times seem really good, so I have some faith the game is at least decently optimized. I get worried when I watch things like a Game Informer video covering Borderlands 4 and start seeing some pretty significant frame drops. The thing that sucks about this concern is, unlike any of the others, I really can't leave advice at the end of it. I can only hope within the allotted time before launch, Gearbox can take the time to polish like crazy and have the game in a good spot optimization wise. One last thing, Gearbox, if anyone is listening. On this list of concerns, this is my biggest. What I'm saying is, I'd rather features we want in the game that might be seen as less crucial be added after launch, if it means we get a well-optimized game. I think about how you guys pushed back photo mode. If it was photo mode coming after launch meant more time for optimization, I personally am all for it, and that is how I will feel about everything on this list. Optimization comes first. So that's how I feel. Now, all you beautiful viewers, Gearbox does listen and pay attention, so let it be known in the comments respectfully, would you rather optimization be the biggest concern leading up to launch, or features? Let it be heard. What kind of features would you want? Again, let it be heard. Okay, so that's everything I had for that. Now, moving on, we have a comment someone left on one of my videos, bringing up an excellent point, and for me, actually a pretty big concern. This is a comment by It's Kimi, and this person says, feature that needs to be added, a loud sound and visual when a co-op partner goes into fight for your life. It was the biggest issue of co-op in Borderlands 3, and from the co-op gameplay I saw, it still is a problem in Borderlands 4. There is barely any information, be it visual, on the UI, sound cue, or in-world feedback. This needs your attention, Gearbox. Thank you so much, It's Kimi, for bringing this to my attention. I hope I'm saying your name right, and I fully agree with this concern, and it's definitely my second biggest. I want Borderlands 4 co-op to feel the best it's ever been in Borderlands. I thought Borderlands 3 co-op felt a little empty, and it's because, first of all, there were a lot of little bugs and glitches you'd face in Borderlands 3 co-op, or at least I've dealt with these, with the indicator as to where your co-op partner is would just disappear, and the name over their head would just disappear. The biggest thing here, though, is that you literally just never know when your co-op partner goes down. With so much visual pollution in Borderlands 3, you would never notice a tiny circle somewhere on the edge of your screen trying to tell you someone is down. There has to be a sound cue. There is one in Borderlands 1, and it works. So Gearbox, please bring this back. It's simple and effective. A better visual indicator would go a long way as well, but we need that sound cue for when a co-op partner goes down. Now, I know my experience isn't everyone's experience, but I play games 95% of the time in a Discord call with multiple people, and it gets rowdy and loud and obnoxious. So when I play with one of my friends, but we're being loud and talking gibberish, and one of us goes down in Borderlands 3, we have to say I'm down 9 or 10 times before they pick up on the fact that someone is down. Maybe not everyone has a loud, noisy, obnoxious Discord group. However, in Borderlands 1, which I have been playing lately with my friend, and I'm in loud, obnoxious Discord calls then too, that sound cue works pretty much every time for me. My friend never has to say a word, it's something I just hear and immediately know what it means, and I start paying attention to where my friend is in the game. The sound cue goes a long way, and I want to thank It's Kimi again for bringing this to my attention, because this is very important to me. Okay, so next up, we have a touch of quote-unquote news. I don't even know if I would call it that. In the latest Game Informer coverage of Borderlands 4, we can see when someone levels up. The HUD element that tells you your level looks just like that of the behind the scenes level 50 HUD element. It has that orange glow behind the number and the gold up arrow, more than likely indicating you have a skill point to spend. Now, someone in chat, I believe it was Timo, shout out to the legend, he said it doesn't really mean anything, and well, he's pretty much right. I took this color and everything to mean that it's probably a level cap, but as Timo explained to me, it's more about the fact there is no XP bar going around. That probably means it's level cap. However, this hasn't been officially confirmed, so we really don't know if it's the level cap. They could have done some weird testing to lock themselves at level 50 and gain no XP, but I really just think more than likely this is the cap at launch. Now, getting to the actual concern portion of all this, I really don't want the level cap to be too high. Which, if you watched one of my prior videos, I was kind of hoping for 2 points per level, which we already know isn't happening anyways. Now though, I am pretty much the opposite, and I wouldn't want the cap any higher than level 72. I know the skill trees are much larger and all, but I think build diversity is crucial, and I think personally it would make for more builds if we couldn't just almost spec into everything by the end. I like the idea right now with level 50 as the cap, that if you use all your skill points, you essentially get one capstone and I think a little under half a skill tree. To be completely honest, I think that's perfect. Now, I may and probably will change my mind to some degree after I have actual hands-on experience with the game. So my overall concern here is them raising it too high. Again, I think level 72 should be the absolute max as of right now. This is a concern that certainly could change after some time with the game, and I will definitely be talking a lot more about this and how I feel about it post-launch. Now, from here, my concerns kind of get smaller. My next one being traversing the new seamless world. Now, I made it vague saying my concern is traversing the new seamless world because I have two concerns within this. My first concern is kind of the opposite of what a lot of people are worried about. I've heard people share concern over the map being empty, and I'm more concerned with random encounters being intrusive. I worry about the game trying too hard to pull my attention somewhere when I already have something I'm doing. If I'm doing an objective and just want to get it done, I don't want a random encounter getting in the way of me traveling there. I think of Skyrim dragons and how intrusive they could be on your experience. I would be in town talking with someone for an objective, and all of a sudden, a dragon shows up and interrupts everything. I'm hoping it's not like this with Borderlands 4 random encounters because there will definitely be times I just want to focus on the objective at hand. Now, my second concern within traversing the seamless world is not enough fast travel points. I understand at first there will be plenty of driving around as you discover new locations. However, what I don't want is to be driving across the map at endgame to go to one named enemy to finish farming him and then have to drive halfway across the map to go to the other named enemy to farm. Or even during the story, if we have to travel back somewhere, I definitely prefer to be able to just fast travel back. My biggest concern within the new vehicle system in Seamless World is that Gearbox thinks I'll be okay with having to drive around everywhere because you can spawn our vehicles on the fly and there's no loading screens. I don't really care. I want convenience. And driving back and forth across the map is not convenient. Again, I understand we will have to drive places and discover locations, but as we close in on endgame, I want most places I need to go to be a place with a fast travel point. Last but not least is one I've kinda already talked about in my 5 features video, but I honestly think it belongs more in this video, so if you've watched that, this may sound a little repetitive. However, it's a concern I think is worth another mention, and that is co-op/public lobbies being marred by cheaters. Especially with crossplay existing, I want Borderlands 4 to be the best Borderlands for co-op yet. I want people to feel more encouraged than ever to leave their lobbies open and for people to join random lobbies. I think Borderlands 4 co-op potential is higher than it's ever been before. It would really suck if people that like to do things like play with God mode joined someone else's game and ruined the experience and making them feel like they can't leave the lobby open. Another huge issue in the past with Borderlands is modded gear circulating, and then people trying to play legitimately might not know that the gun they are using is modded because someone gave it to someone who gave it to someone who gave it to you. You following? Anyways, my point is I doubt this is a concern that will be addressed, but it's at least something I hope doesn't deter people from enjoying meeting new people through the hopefully amazing Borderlands 4 experience. I don't want modding to be gutted. I think at this point modding is an important part of Borderlands. However, it would be nice, especially with crossplay, if there was a way to kind of keep modders and cheaters in their own lane, so to speak. This way, no one is discouraged from leaving their lobby open. With that though, ladies and gentlemen, comes the end of the video. These are some of my biggest concerns I have for Borderlands 4, and now I want to hear from all of you. What concerns you most about Borderlands 4, and would you have Gearbox prioritize optimization leading up to launch? Would you rather see a feature at launch? Gearbox has their ears and eyes in every corner of the community, guys, so they may just see/hear us, so be sure to let them know in a respectful way what you want or are concerned most about from Borderlands 4. With that, I look forward to hearing all about what you guys think, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Peace out.